Hello and welcome to another video by Day Night Gaming. In this video we'll be taking Alchemist from level 70 to 80 in the MMORPG known as Final Fantasy XIV. Now before we begin, we have a small list of items that we need to purchase for use in this video. And please keep in mind that if you do not intend to meld your gear as deeply as I have with materia, then it is highly recommended to purchase high quality materials to make up for the lack of control stat that you might have. And also we'll be using high quality Blood Bowl safe food as well as high quality Cunning Craftsman syrup. So with that out of the way, please purchase 6 Chira Glow Aether Sand, 6 Enchanted True Gold Ink, 6 Highland Spring Water, 24 Hydrozone Umbrella, 12 Kudzu Root, 12 Lime Basil, 12 Palladium Nugget, 6 Goro Glow Aether Sand, 6 Smilodon Leather, 12 Tiger Lily, 12 Underground Spring Water, and 6 White Oak Lumber. So I'm going to be wearing the same gear that I used at the end of the previous video, but please keep in mind that even though I'm showing you this gear now, that you do not need to copy the materia melded into it, because at this point in time the recipes that we're going to be crafting are way under our level for this section of the video. As you can see, we're level 70 and we're going to be doing level 60 crafts. So here we are in the city of Ul'dah at the Alchemist Guild, and we're going to be speaking to Severian, the Guildmaster, to accept the level 60 job quest known as Not Quite Dead Yet. After that, we're going to take the Aetheroid Telepoint to the Thaumaturge Guild. Now please take note of this location because we're going to be heading here quite frequently. The first time we're going to head there is we're going to go toward the burial chamber, but before that, we're going to speak to Brass Blade. So right when you teleport in, Brass Blade is right next to you. After that, you're going to follow him into the burial chamber. So like I said before, please keep note of this location. Once inside, you're going to speak to Brass Blade again, and then you're going to inspect the unsoiled coffin. After a quick cutscene, we're going to head back to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guildmaster to complete the quest. After doing so, we're then going to accept the level 63 job quest known as the Forbidden Blade. Once you do that, we're now going to take the Aetheroid Telepoint to the Thaumaturge Guild again, but instead of going east to the burial ground, we're going to go west into the Thaumaturge Guild itself. And once inside, you're going to speak to Yaya Roku. After a quick dialogue, we're then going to head back to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guildmaster. After that, we're going to craft Intellectuary. Now the nice thing about these quests is they provide the materials for you, so it's okay if you end up failing the high quality. Just speak to Severian again and get new materials. Alright, so now we're going to start off with a very powerful ability known as Reflect, and that's going to start us off with 3 Inner Quiet stacks, but it must be done on the first step of the rotation. After that, we're going to activate Waste Not 2, and then Innovation, and then we're going to do Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch. And then if you need to, you can do Basic Touch, Standard Touch again, and end off with a final Basic Touch. At that point, all your Waste Not 2 stacks should be depleted and you should be at Durability 35. So in case you haven't finished off your quality bar, you can then move into Innovation again, and then Great Strides, and then finishing off your quality bar with Byregot's Blessing. From here on out, we're going to work on our progress, so we're going to do Veneration, and then 2 to 3 Careful Synthesis to complete the craft. So 1, 2, and in case you haven't finished the progress bar, you can do a third one. Alright, so now we're going to take the Aetheroid Telepoint back to the Thaumaturge Guild, and we're going to go into it and speak to Yaya Roku. After that, we're going to head out the doors, due east, and head toward the burial chamber and speak to Aidgaitha. After that, we're going to head back to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guildmaster to complete the quest. After that, we're going to speak to Severian the Guildmaster again and accept the level 65 job quest known as Do Goldsmith's Dream of Gilded Sheep. And after a quick dialogue, we're going to head back to the Thaumaturge Guild, and we're going to head into the burial chamber and speak to Idgaitha. After that, we're going to teleport to Mordona by taking the Revenant's Toll teleport. And once we arrive there, we're going to mount up onto our chocobo or whatever mount that you have, and we're going to fly to the second floor of Rowena's House of Splendor. And that's due north from the telepoint. After we get there, we're going to speak to Philhamin. After a quick cutscene, we'll then head back to the city of Ul'dah, and we're going to take the Thaumaturge telepoint and go into the burial ground and speak to Philhamin there. Then we're going to exit the burial chambers heading toward the Aetheryte telepoint and speak to Grainfar. And then after doing so, we're going to head back to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guildmaster. And then after doing so, we're going to have to craft a high quality, twice fermented Muntoi juice. And just like previously, they provide the materials. So if you fail, just go ahead and speak to Severian again and get more materials. So we're going to start off with Reflect, then Waste Not 2, then Innovation, then Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch. And we have 3 more Waste Not 2 stacks, so we're going to do Basic Touch again, then Standard Touch, and ending off with Basic Touch, leaving us with 35 durability. Now in case you need more quality bar, you can go into Innovation, Great Strides, and then Byregot's Blessing, and that should cap you off. And with the remaining durability, we're going to work on our progress, so we're going to go with Veneration, and then 2 to 3 Careful Synthesis to complete the craft. After that, go ahead and teleport to the Thaumaturge Guild and speak to Grainfar next to the Aetheryte telepoint to complete the quest. After that, we're going to speak to Grainfar again, and we're going to accept the level 68 job quest known as No Sin Unpunished. So go ahead and do that now. And after that, we're going to have to head toward the burial chamber. And then after that, we're going to head back out of the burial chamber past the Aetheryte crystal and speak to Grainfar again. From there, we're going to teleport to the Goldsmiths Guild, and we're going to head due west once we get there. So we're going to take the Aethernet shard that's right next to us and then teleport to the Goldsmiths Guild. And we're going to head toward the Estamine's Aesthetics. So like I said, we're going to head west, up the steps, and then turn left and speak to Marcel. After a quick dialogue, then we're going to have to speak to Philhamin. So we're going to take the Aetheryte telepoint to the Alchemist Guild. And Philhamin should be due east just a few steps. After a quick dialogue, we'll then head into the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guildmaster. After a quick dialogue, we're going to have to craft a high quality luminel. And just like the previous crafts, they provide the material. And in case you fail to high quality the recipe, you can then speak to Severian the Guildmaster again and get a replacement luminel ingredient. So we're going to go ahead and synthesize. And we're going to start off our opener with Reflect. And remember, that has to be done on the first action. After that, we're going to use Waste Not 2, then Innovation. And instead of doing Basic Touch, Standard Touch rotation, we're going to be doing Preparatory Touch instead. And we're going to do that twice. And that's going to bring our inner quiet stacks way up. So here you can see we're going to do Preparatory Touch the first time. And then the second time, bringing us to 7 inner quiet stacks. And we still have 2 innovation stacks left. So we're then going to proceed to use those on Great Strides and then Byregot's Blessing to cap out our quality. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. And now we're gonna work on our progress bar. So we're gonna do veneration and then 2 to 3 careful synthesis to complete the craft. And there we go, it should be a high quality luminel. And after doing so, we're gonna have to deliver the luminel to Popo Kuli. Now there are 2 different paths that you can take, but I suggest taking the Sapphire Avenue Exchange Aetheroid Telepoint path instead of the Weaver's Guild. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Aetheroid Telepoint, and once you get there, we're gonna head due west into the alleyway, and then north, and then west again, and there you should see Popo Kuli. We're gonna go ahead and deliver the high quality bottle of luminel, and after doing so, we're gonna have to follow these glowing blood stains. So here we go. We're gonna head back toward the marketplace where all the market boards and the vendors are, and once we arrive there, Popo Kuli is standing in front of Rarakia, the apothecary. After that, we're going to follow the glowing bloodstains again due south. And right after you pass the Aethernet shard, turn right and Popo Kuli will be right around the corner. So speak to Popo Kuli to complete the quest. After doing so, we're going to speak to Popo Kuli again and accept the level 68 job quest known as No Sin Unpunished. So we're going to go ahead and accept that now. And then we're going to head due north past the Aetheroid Crystal, and in front of Fridurth, the Tradecraft merchant, you're going to speak to the Heart Sore Handmaiden. And after a quick dialogue, we're then going to take the Aetheroid Telepoint to the Thaumaturge Guild and head into the Burial Chamber and speak to the Heart Sore Handmaiden there as well. And after a quick dialogue, we're then going to teleport to Mordona using the Revenant's Toll teleport, which is located all the way at the bottom of your teleport list. So here we go, Mordona, Revenant's Toll. And we're going to teleport now. And once we arrive, we're then going to head due north toward Rowena's House of Splendor. But we're only going to stay at the bottom level, right at the entrance. So here we go, we're going to mount up. Gonna head due north, and right there at the entrance is Popo Kuli. After a quick cutscene, we're then gonna teleport back to the city of Ul'dah, to the Alchemist Guild, and speak to Severian the Guild Master. Now we're gonna have to craft a high quality potent dissolvent, and once again, just like the previous crafts, they provide the material. So we're gonna start off with Reflect, followed by Waste Not 2, then Innovation, Preparatory Touch, another Preparatory Touch, Great Strides, Fire God's Blessing, Veneration, and then we're going to end with 2 Groundwork, and that should complete the craft. So here we go, the first groundwork, and then the final groundwork. And there we go, high quality potent dissolvent. From there we're going to head back to the Aetheroid Telepoint and head to the Thaumaturge Guild, and we're going to head into the Burial Chamber and talk to Grenfar and turn in what we just crafted. After that we're going to talk to Grenfar again. And after a brief dialogue, we're going to head back to the Alchemist Guild and speak to Severian the Guild Master to complete the quest. Alright, so at this point in time, we should be about 80% into level 72, almost to 73. So now we're going to teleport to the Crystarium. And we're going to use Tradecraft Leves to go all the way up to level 80 at this point. So here we go, almost to the bottom of the list. We're going to teleport to the Crystarium. And once we arrive there, we're then going to take the Aetheroid Telepoint to the Crystalline Mean. So we're going to go ahead and click this rotating circular thing. And there we go, the Crystalline Mean. Once we arrive there, we're going to turn a bit to the right. And we're going to head due south to the second green tent. And that's where the Tradecraft Leves are. So we're going to go ahead and go there now. And we're gonna stand in between Ericor and Moise. And we're gonna be turning in quests there. So before we do that, I'm gonna show you the gear that I used. And please keep in mind that you're gonna need a minimum of 482 CP after all food and buffs. So you don't have to meld as deeply as I have with your materia, but if you don't, make sure that you do supplement that with high quality materials, as well as eating high quality blood bowl safe food and high quality cunning craftsman syrup. Just keep in mind that the control stat requirements for this are pretty high, so you might want to supplement as many high quality materials as possible. Alright, so now that we got all our gear out of the way, we're going to activate our buffs to get our stats up. And then after that, we're going to speak to Ericor, the Levmet. And we're going to be grabbing the level 70 Lev quest, not the level 72 quest, but the level 70 Lev quest known as A Time for Peace. And this is a really good Lev quest. It gives a lot of EXP. So we're going to take this up to 74. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go and accept that. And this Lev quest is going to have us crafting 3 high quality Smilodon skin codexes per Lev quest. And we're going to repeat this Lev quest twice. So we're going to make a total of 6 of them. But we're going to make 3 right now. And then turn it in and then grab another 3. So here we go, synthesize. And we're going to start off with Reflect. And then we're going to use a very powerful ability known as Manipulation. And what this does is after every action for the next 8 actions, we're going to get a refund of 5 durability. Extremely powerful. So now that we have Manipulation activated, we're going to go straight into Innovation. Then we're going to do Basic Touch, then Standard Touch, then Basic Touch again, then Standard Touch. Now that we've used up all our innovation stacks, we're going to reactivate Innovation. Then we're going to do Great Strides, and we're going to cap off our quality bar with Baragot's Blessing. Now that our quality is 100%, we're then going to work on progress, and we're going to go with Veneration. And then we're going to use a very strong ability known as Groundwork. And we're going to do this 3 times, so that's going to definitely cap out our progress for sure. So here we go. 1, and then 2, and then the final 3rd one. And there we go. We've crafted a high quality Smilodon skin codex. And we're going to craft 2 more of these using the same rotation. So once again, it's Reflect, Manipulation, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Baragot's Blessing, Veneration, then 3 Groundwork. Alright, so now that we've crafted our 3 high quality Smilodon skin codexes, we're going to now turn them into Moist. So we're going to hand over the first one, yes. Complete. Yes. Hand over, yes. Complete. And now our 3rd one, some additional yes. Hand over and complete. And as you can see here, we gained quite a lot of experience, but it's not enough. So we're going to have to do this Lev quest again. So once again, we're going to grab the level 70 Lev quest known as A Time for Peace. And we're going to be using the same rotation that we used earlier. So once again, that's going to be Reflect, Manipulation, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Baragot's Blessing, Veneration, then 3 Groundwork. Alright, so now we've crafted those, we're going to turn them into moist. So we're going to hand over the first one, yes, complete, and then submit additional, yes, hand over, yes, complete, and then our third one, submit additional, yes, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now as you can see we're level 74 now. So we're going to speak to Ercor and take the level 74 lev quest known as 5 Bell Energy. Now this is going to give a lot of EXP. This is a really good one. So we're going to have to craft 3 high quality competent craftsman syrup per turn-in. But every time you craft one you're going to make 3. And we're going to have to make a total of 9 per lev quest. Alright, so we're going to start off with Reflect. And then we're going to go into Manipulation. And after that we're going to go directly into Innovation. And after that we're going to go with Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch. And once we've used all 4 innovation stacks, we're going to reactivate innovation. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So here we go, innovation. And then we're going to jump straight into Great Strides. And then Fire God's Blessing to complete our quality bar. Now we're going to work on our progress, and once again we're going to do Veneration into 3 Groundwork, and that'll definitely complete the progress bar. Alright, so after crafting that first set of 3, we're going to have to do this 2 more times to make another 6, so we're going to make a total of 9. And we're going to use the same rotation that we just used. So once again, it's going to be Reflect into Manipulation, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Fire God's Blessing, Veneration, then ending off with 3 Groundwork. And then once we've crafted a total of 9 high quality competent craftsman syrup, we'll then go ahead and turn them in. Alright, so now that we've crafted those, we're going to now turn all 9 of them into moist. So we're going to hand over the first 3, yes, complete. Now the next 3, hand over, yes, complete. And finally the final 3, hand over, yes, complete. Now we turned in a total of 9 of those, and we're going to speak to Ercor again, the Levmet, and we're going to grab the level 74 lev quest known as 5 Bell Energy again. And we're going to be crafting the same thing, 9 high quality competent craftsman syrup, and we're going to be using the same rotation that we used previously, which is Reflect, Manipulation, Innovation, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Basic Touch, Standard Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Fire God's Blessing, Veneration, and then ending off with 3 Groundwork. Alright, so now that we've crafted our 9 high quality competent craftsman syrup, we're going to turn them into moist. So here's the first 3, complete. Some additional, yes. And the next 3 over, yes. Complete. And now our final 3, submit additional, yes. Hand over, yes. And complete. Alright, so now that we're level 76, it's a good time to double check your buffs. Make sure all your food and your cunning craftsman syrups are up. As you can see here, my cunning craftsman syrup has dropped, but my food is still active. So I'm only gonna drink my cunning craftsman syrup. Now it depends on how the timer is, so make sure you check both. Once you have both buffs up, we're gonna grab the level 76 lev quest known as Crafty Concoctions. Now this recipe is very difficult, so just throwing it out there, make sure you have both buffs up. So we're gonna be crafting 9 high quality commanding craftsman syrup each lev quest. And we're going to do this lev quest twice, so we're going to craft a total of 18. Now luckily every time you synthesize, you're going to make 3 at a time. So we're going to start off with reflect. Then we're going to go into manipulation. And then we're going to do waste not 1. We're not going to use waste not 2, we're going to use waste not 1. Okay? And then after that, we're going to do 4 preparatory touch in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now we're actually going to use innovation. Okay. And we're going to work on our quality bar. And we're going to try and max it out at this point. And we're going to do that all in one shot. So we're going to try and get this done. So we're going to buff up with great strides. And then we're going to end off with by our God's blessing. And that should cap out your quality bar. And with the remaining 60 durability that we have left, we're then going to use veneration. And we're going to end the craft with 3 groundwork. And you're going to see every time we use a groundwork, the progress bar is going to rapidly go up. So here we go, veneration, and then our first groundwork, the second one, and then the third one to complete the craft. Alright, so now we've crafted high quality commanding craftsman syrup, and we've crafted 3 with that one shot, and we're going to have to repeat this craft 2 more times to make a total of 9. So once again, the rotation is reflect, manipulation, waste not, 4 preparatory touch, innovation, great strides, by our God's blessing, veneration, and then finishing off with 3 groundwork. Alright, so now that we've crafted our 9 high quality commanding craftsman syrup, we're going to turn them into moist. So our first 3, hand over, yes, complete. Submit additional, our next 3, hand over, yes, complete. And now submit additional, yes, and our final 3, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so we're level 77, but we still got to do this another time. So we're going to grab the level 76 lev quest known as Crafty Concoctions, and we're going to craft another 9 high quality commanding craftsman syrup. And just like before, we're going to use the same rotation. So reflect, manipulation, waste not, 4 preparatory touch, innovation, great strides, by our God's blessing, veneration, and ending off with 3 groundwork. And we're going to synthesize this 3 times, making a total of 9 high quality commanding craftsman syrup. Alright, so now that we've crafted our 9 high quality commanding craftsman syrup, we're going to turn them into moist. So here's our first 3, yes, complete. And then submit additional, yes, hand over our next 3, yes, and complete. And submit additional, yes, and hand over our last 3, hand over, yes, and complete. Alright, so now we got a decent amount of experience. So once again, check your buffs, make sure they're up. And then we're going to speak to Ericor and grab our level 78 lev quest known as Mindful Medicine. And this is going to have us crafting 9 high quality tinctures of mind. Now please keep in mind that these are very difficult to craft, so I do highly recommend upgrading your gear to the next tier. So this is the gear that I used. Now you don't have to have it melded as deeply as I have, but you do have to have a minimum of 482 CP after food and buffs have been applied. So as you can see here, even with my gear, I already have my CP up to 577, and you only need 482, so keep that in mind. You don't need to meld as deeply, but if you want, you can make up for the lack of control stat by using high quality materials. So here we go, we're going to be crafting tinctures of mind. Every time we synthesize, we're going to craft 3 of them, and we need to make 9, so we're going to do this 3 times. So here we go, we're going to start off with Reflect. That's going to give us our initial 3 inner quiet. Then we're going to do manipulation. And after we use manipulation, we're going to use waste not. And these two combine really well because every time you use a durability expending skill, you're going to be having it with waste not. And every time you use an action, you're going to be gaining some of your manipulation back. So now we're going to do 4 preparatory touch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, getting us to 11 inner quiet stacks. Now, if your quality bar is not maxed out, you can then use Innovation, Great Strides, and use Buyer God's Blessing. And with 11 stacks, you're definitely going to max out your quality bar. So now we're going to work on our progress, and we're going to use Veneration, and then we're going to do 3 groundwork in a row. And there we go, we've made 3 high quality tinctures of mind, and we have to make 6 more. So we're going to repeat that rotation once again. It's Reflect, Manipulation, Waste Not, 4 Preparatory Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Buyer God's Blessing, Veneration, and ending off with 3 Groundwork. And once you've crafted 9 tinctures of mind, we're going to turn them into moist. Alright, so now that we've crafted our 9 high quality tinctures of mind, we're going to turn them into moist. So we're going to turn in our first 3. So hand over, yes, and then complete. From there we're going to submit additional, hand over our next 3, yes, complete. And now we're going to finish off with submit additional, yes, and hand over our last 3, complete. And there we go. Now as you can see here, we're almost 79. We're not quite there, so we're going to grab the level 78 lev quest known as Mindful Medicine, and we're going to craft some more. Now we only really need to do this 1 more time, but we're going to craft it twice, so we're going to make 6 of them. We're going to go from there. Alright, so we're going to use the same rotation that we used before, which is Reflect, Manipulation, Waste Not, 4 Preparatory Touch, Innovation, Great Strides, Buyer God's Blessing, Veneration, and then ending off with 3 Groundwork. And once you've made 3 or 6, you can pretty much stop there. And if you need to, I'm not sure if you would, but if you need to, you can go ahead and craft a 3rd one. And any that you don't end up turning in, you can sell on the market board, which is still good. Alright, so here we go. We've crafted our high quality tinctures of mind. We're going to turn them into moist. And as you can see here, we're going to turn in our first 3, and that should get us our level. So complete, and there we go. As you can see, we leveled. Now if we were to turn in another set, we're only going to get like 6,000 experience, so it's not really worth it. So we're going to go ahead and complete the order now. Bada bing, bada boom, now we're level 80. Thank you, hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, consider hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell for future notifications on videos that I might be posting in the future. And in case you're interested in supporting the channel even more, I do have a merch website at streamlabs.com/DNGdangerous/merch. And until next time, take care, goodbye.